from human mouths, but you can't do it by will.
They've been taking mushrooms for a long time. Here's the way Dennis described it to me. He said, Michael, no, or Terence described it to me about, he said, Dennis is totally broken through when you made the sound. And I said, Terence, I don't exactly understand what you mean. This. And he says, well, a lot of people don't see it, and it's best that they don't. But there's insect-like anthropologists studying this.
That's there.
And at the time of making the sound, or hearing the sound, this seen or unseen guardian will, I think he said, operate on your mouth. So you can make the sound. Now, here's how it happened to Dennis.
I know
Here's how it happened to Dennis.
There are insect anthropologists studying the human race?
Yes, and it's about, I think he said 12 to 15 feet tall. It's the description of the
Sure. Yeah.
In Castaneda.
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
not just seeing a deity. In his vision of his trip, he's just seeing a deity and having a vision of the deity and going through the experience with the deity. You know, like if you look at...
That's just his physical manifestation.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it different ways. But that's still...
I think that I hear a sound that is not speakable for sure.
But that's still a form of concept.
Well, anyway, what happened to Dennis was he was just out there taking a piss, but of course it was after at least a week of mushrooms. And he was taking a piss, and a light came out of the ground, and it just began to rumble up from inside of me. And he blared out the sound, you know. And after that, Dennis was totally changed. He was just like Terrence. Before, when he came down, he was in his zen and everything. And now he was they're both very tall and skinny. Maybe Dennis is taller. And he just looked down at me, you know, with this bluish haze around his face, and his eyes were so wide open. Like this, looking right into me, saying, Michael, I know you'll make the sound, but will Sarah make the sound? And he was very concerned that Sarah might not make the sound.
You can probably see by
It's a great story. I love the story. You're right. Thank you.
It isn't even a question of believing it, it's a question of believing it. And for Terence, the only way to believe it was to do it. Right? Phenomenological experience. He says, since several people had the same experience, it is true, and therefore it warrants further investigation.
Sure.
Which is perfectly true, you know. Anyway.
Right. Truth in 1 mile.
Well, sure. I'll go look for that one.
Anyways,
why not?
Yeah.
Check it out along the way.
Oh, what happened after that? This was the important part that I forgot. I think I forgot. Sarah says, let's go down to the Chorera. I want to photograph the Chorera. And I said, great, you know, I'll help you carry your tripod. So she's got her rollerblades and an icon. She's got it. She had read at that time and was going to take some really good pictures of the Chorera. And on the way down there, we meet this incredibly old and very, very strange Indian man who was just being brought into La Chorera because it was the nuns are back, it's school time, children, everybody bring the children in. And all the town was filled up. They gave us the weird jungle fruits that I never imagined.
Name something like.
Well, it was one that was very strange. It's shaped like a giant mango. It was dark brownish green, and it had a big, thick stem on one end. And you cut the top off, and it produced, the only bad thing about the fruit was that it produced this latex which stuck all over your lips and it was impossible to get off. The fruit was heaven. You know. The people that sold us that were also selling brooms.
Brooms?
Brooms. Beautiful, beautiful handmade brooms. And this was the weirdo in the community. Here's what he looked like. incredibly old. He looked like a mummy that I saw in a mummy.
Wow.
He was so, his skin perfectly stretched, and he's just sitting there. What he was wearing was a uniform made out of khaki material, which looked like it had been taken apart and sewed inside out. Spotlessly clean, but it was very, very strange. I mean, it looked like it was especially made to look messy in a neat sort of way. You know, and he had this little fur bag. The only thing that wasn't khaki was this little fur bag, and even that had a khaki strap on it, right? And
Like cotton khaki
he's
chino?
talking Witoto. He obviously doesn't. And he's talking Witoto to his daughter, who's obviously with mission eyes, you know, wearing this cute little 1950 type dress and the ribbon in her hair. And the woman then says to us in Spanish, ¿De dónde están? ¿De dónde están? Where are you from? And then we say, Nuevo York. And the old man goes, Nuevo York. And he shakes his head and he has a big smile on his face. And then Sarah turns to me and whispers, well, it's almost like you flew over to the train. So inside this room, you know, just to at the house, a very innocent thing to do. And we go down and photograph the Chorera. Wow. Sarah's photographing the Chorera. There it is. I find the first psychedelic plant. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It is psychotria. Maybe you want to write this one down.
Yes, I certainly do.
Psychotria.
Yes, just a second here. Psychotria, psychototrifolia.
Here, you want to pass the book? I can make
Yes, do. Whatever you want to write down. Oh, it's a great pen. You'll love it. Here, go to it.
They got a lot of drugs.
I have a desire to have everything readable.
They got stuff down there better than you ever had in the outside world. Things that just do things to your mind.
Psychotria, psychofolia.
Outside of the jungle?
No, inside the jungle.
I'll describe
Yeah,
this plant to
outside
you,
the
and
jungle.
you know what the fucking botanist who told me there's no poisonous mushrooms in Colombia except the Amanita, he said, he described it perfectly. He said, you'll find it near rushing water. I found it right next to the shore.
Right
Okay.
down.
And it's around 2 to 3 feet tall.
Yeah, 2 or 3 feet tall.
Rushing water. He said, you might find it near waterfall or rushing stream. That's very good.
Who said it? Do I know him? Is he on
His
there?
name is Dr.
They gave you why you were there,
Yeah.
That's
No.
good.
Good old guy, I think.
Do you have had all of these things too?
I probably didn't have a lot that Michael had, but
You've had other.
No, I didn't have that many because we chickened out. Sarah and I chickened out, man. We were not part of the experiment. As soon as we moved into the policeman's house, we were chicken.
Really?
Because,
You checked
well,
out.
you know, I was still interested, and I was pretty much interested in doing the ayahuasca, even though I wasn't into eating mushrooms all the time. And,
that's a good
you know, the changes were very subtle. We were in a very crazy place, and it's very, very hard to judge sanity levels. Now,
Yeah.
of course, these people are weird to begin with, and they have strange ideas, so you have a hard time placing yourself.
Gee,
Yeah,
that's
place yourself
something.
pretty easy.
Well, you can
Placing
place yourself,
yourself
but
with yourself.
sometimes you don't place yourself. You can sense for a long time that something's wrong, but it takes a while for you to do that.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
It gives you a chance that everything that you are will just manifest. Every fear, every desire, everything you are will just come out there.
Yep.
Because you'll be, like it's crazy in the outside world, you can kind of make it through scenes, you know, and like never really expecting danger to come your way unless you really walk into a hidden neighborhood. But like in the Amazon, all of a sudden you're in nature. If you're the hunter, you're really hunting as well. And that's a heavy realization. Just that, because you'll feel that vibration, like hit you really fast. And then from there you start to find out who you are as you try to walk around or pass through.
It's the intense life-death cycle exists in the jungle.
Right.
It's the quickest turnover of life
Right.
for more life.
Right.
Exactly, it's just always consuming
Right. And changing.
and changing.
And you see that every from the time you wake up.
Uh-huh.
You close your eyes, you see that every day that you're real.
Right.
Then it starts to reflect back at you that you're a part of.
Uh-huh, exactly.
And you
Also, like
And there's no removal
Like
from it,
tripping
because
all
you're
the
always
time,
getting
you're
pointed out how
magnifying
vulnerable
that
you are
100%.
in that environment.
There's a removal. You can get new canoe and get yourself out of there as fast as possible. Or you can do it like some people do, they just go one ego. They go with full power just out at it to conquer. Or you can do it the Indian way, who gives away. He just says, man, I'm not more important than anything else.
Right.
But I have something to figure out. I do have a consciousness. So I have to survive. Can't hold me away until I find out why I can. They ask some pretty heavy questions.
Well, I'm impressed.
Just about everybody's got heavy questions, too.
Anybody want to hear what psychosis
Yeah.
looks like?
Yeah.
It's a bush around 2 to 3 feet tall.
Okay.
And it has very pointed leaves that are very regular shaped. Like, very thin and narrow. I tried to draw one here. That looks just a skinny little leaf around 2 inches long and a half an inch wide.
Great.
And dark green about the color of top.
I know, and it has a white line down the center?
No.
No, forget it.
Glossy leaves. Dark green and
Dark
glossy.
green, okay.
And long and narrow. And the flower is a 5-pointed star, which is blue and white. It's
So
sort
there,
of
on that?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, 5-pointed flower, blue and white.
And it contains DMT.
It contains DMT, and you have had it from the flower. How do you prepare it?
You mix it up with ayahuasca. And I don't know what the dosage is. Maybe that's another reason why Dennis went weird on us kind of thing.
Well, how's Dennis now? What is he
Oh,
like?
he's fine.
How long was he weird?
Now, I have only signed some secondary sources. He wrote me a letter months after. Well, you'll hear about how it gets weird. It's something so weird happened when we bought the broom that it didn't.
Tell me about the broom.
We took it back to the house, right? After I pulled up carefully, disrooted the psychosis and brought it back to the house. And actually what happened was while Sarah was photographing, right after I discovered the psychosis folia, I noticed that there was this caterpillar stuck to the broom, which was around this long, and a chartreuse green covered with little volcanoes. And each volcano had a little drop of ruby color in it. And it was easily the most incredible caterpillar I'd ever seen.
Wow.
And it stuck to the broom, and we photographed it. And we didn't hassle it, and we didn't make it leave, but it seemed to want to stay. We brought the broom home and set it in the corner with the caterpillar right where it wanted to be, right? And I'll have to describe the room that we were staying in. Like, it had a long window looking up the hill towards the mission, and then I had a small window looking over toward the river. And at this time, we had already gotten a hut about 1 kilometer into the jungle. We were working on gardens, planting morning glories, onions and garlic, and we planted the ayahuasca. I forgot to tell you that the guy's grandson, the grandmother's grandson that got the ayahuasca to the people, had given them a basket with 3 sticks stuck in a very mystical pattern like this, sort of. That basket was strange because it came to a point, and it was lined with leaves, and it had these 3 vine sticks sticking out. And the woman told Kumi to, quote, plant it where the sun never shines. Unquote. That was ayahuasca.
That makes sense. It isn't.
Anyway, this caterpillar disappeared, and I didn't find it until the next day. As soon as it got in the house, it disappeared. After meditation, I found out it had gone to the room that I meditated in and hung right in the center of the window looking towards the jungle house, right up the hill. And just before my eye, without spinning it with a spoon or anything, began to metamorphose. You could see different lines change, and I watched it for a couple of days, and this was around March 2nd. And Terence already had told us, I think, that, well, if you don't want to, he says, I think it's better that you don't do it until after we do it, and then we'll guide you through it. So he was sort of fading us out diplomatically, which was all right with us, but then when he found out about the butterflies, he knows a lot about butterflies. I didn't know anything about it. To me, it was a butterfly that just came to me, and I didn't connect it with the secret, right? Because I was still thoroughly obtuse. And the butterflies metamorphosing in the meditation room, and I show it to him. He goes, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" And he took it right down and put it in a little box and said, "This is vital for the experience."
How do you mean vital?
Look at the whole experiment. Yeah, it was rested upon that caterpillar.
Okay.
Was it that serious?
Well, when I found out, I was pretty amazed when I found out what kind of caterpillar it was. It was a morpholia.
Blue morpho? Is that right? Do they always metamorphose without any...
I don't know. I don't know anything about butterflies. Well, I know some things about butterflies.
Well, that's my
I'm
favorite
scientific.
butterfly.
Yeah, right. It's probably everybody's favorite butterfly. They have to see them.
You know, that's crazy when people start getting...
Blue morpho stream?
It's crazy that it climbed upon
That's
the
the same
statement.
butterfly.
Here's what's crazy about it in retrospect. It's crazy that that caterpillar chose to climb up on that broom that weirdo shaman's daughter stole it. That's what's really crazy. And that it went directly from the broom to the meditation room to begin metamorphosing. So there was room for craziness and the series of coincidences that happened.
Well, I firmly believe that they are all appropriately aware kinds of experiences.
Yeah, but you can't get hung up on it because then the whole group starts, if it becomes important. something
Wow.
to tell them.
Well, so what's not important? I mean, it's as important as anything else that you know.
Well, what's really important to parents, I had no idea. I thought
Yeah.
it was just a hippie.
People's minds get preoccupied on it, right?
Mine doesn't.
And if your mind's preoccupied on something like that, and the group mind goes that way.
Focus on it.
Yeah, it starts focusing, makes it focus on it, makes it real important in a non-attached way.
Oh, yeah.
That means when they leave, the energy disperses and people are moving through the environment. If they're still hung up in that space, they're not clear. And it makes it dangerous because you don't want to be hung up on any one thing. You want to get through it, examine it, try to find the truth out of it, and cut it loose. So you're right back at the moment. Because now the moment's important. Because if your mind's thinking all the time and you're trying to think and walk, that's your biggest mistake, and you shouldn't even be in jungle. Because if you're thinking and you're not perceiving like what's all around you, you know, and feeling it as you're walking through it, like it's like music, you know, like
The more naively approach, the better.
right?
Just being intimate with him.
You know, there's the application of practice, you know, you're using your mind and your body for that. But once you've got that down, it's just, you know, by yourself or with a group, just letting that feeling like come out and join together. And that's your strength then. And jungle. It's probably your strength anyway, for real. To live on that. You know, live kind of intellectually, you know, if you're trying to rationalize this thing and it's big and important. Wow, it's out of your head. And you try to space down the jungle trail, man, that might be your day. That might be the day you see this guy come up with some soup. You got bit by a snake and 3 minutes later you fall in the
Oh, we don't have to talk about all this.
Fall over and die.
This story is really fairly happy when you think it's snake violence.
Well, we saw pythons and things.
Well, pythons and there's Deadly, deadly snake, but like,
Oh.
Yeah.
The Indians would take it up.
I have never encountered a rattlesnake, and I have walked and hiked and marched around and lived and all of those kinds of things in places where rattlesnakes go. And I've seen them in terrariums and things like that.
sure.
But I-
Yolanda's right, you gotta be together
Yeah.
in the jungle, but this trip was quite, it wasn't, we were very settled. We could have had a very sane existence. We could have just studied the plants. But these people were into the experiment, which was going to take place on March 4th. And, I just want to get back into the story because it's going to take a long while, but this wasn't like this. It wasn't like your trips in the jungle. It was just, we were guided there, they carried a lot of our stuff so we could have, our typewriters, except we were typewriters. And it was just, it was on the surface, a scientific expedition, and it was run by...
Who funded it?
Huh?
Who funded it?
We funded ourselves.
Well, you mean you bought all that kind of stuff?
Well, we bought a typewriter for $25.
I mean, and somebody to carry it and all that kind of stuff?
We paid something like 300 pesos for them each to guide us and carry us. Well, there were 6 people, 4 people, 6 people when we started out. It was not money, not gringos. We had a lot of equipment, but it was a big hammock. Everybody had a big hammock. And, we brought 20 pounds of granola and 10 pounds of powdered milk. It didn't last long, but we brought it.
And the people gave a lot of food too.
Sure, they turn in the food out there, So everything for us was very poshy, and we weren't like immediately threatened by physical harm in the jungle. However,
Yeah.
Dennis began to deteriorate. He was first he lost his glasses. He sounded like me. First he lost his
Bless you.
and then I'm walking across the field and he finds us. And that was actually after all that stuff happened after. But
The jungle was closed too. I mean, you go washing in the water, and part of your clothes are deteriorating just from, I don't know, maybe alkalis in the water. And then you go out and you get some more of this clay, that red
probably
clay,
acid.
and that starts to eat your clothes. I remember we went in with 7 people. I got to come out with a backpack, a pair of short pants, a string of beads, and a shirt. Everything else just got eaten. I have a shirt. But Michael does.
No, why that guy's the exact opposite.
You got more things.
Yeah, I did. I came back with a couple more things. We cook everything up at the ground. Because when we were staying in nice houses, we didn't have to take a lot of food.
This story's got more tangents. We're headed for South Africa. We ended up in Japan.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go see that person in the morning also.
No.
And I want you to give me an approximate idea of how much time we're going to be in on this one. Because I'm getting my energy's lowering.
I could continue it in the jungle.
Well, I would be into it,
Well, let's see, I don't know.
but a lot of other people might not.
Just tell them up till May 4th.
There's not that much more. that
March
happens
4th.
except the final deterioration of Dennis. Okay, he has the experiment, right? And the experiment entails arrangement of the I Ching, and I think the primal arrangement is the middle part of the book. And he has maybe another one, the inner world arrangement. So he's got 2 things. In the center of one, he's got a a mushroom that is metabolizing. How do you say that?
Metabolizing?
A metabolizing mushroom.
How's that? What is it doing?
He just brought in the mushroom with the cow's pottage.
Oh, I see.
It was sitting
Growing.
in the center of this thing, right? And in the other center, maybe it was the inner world, I don't know, I wasn't there because he didn't tell me the mechanics of it. He roughly showed me what he was going to do, but didn't explain enough. He put the cocoon hanging in a little Butoto basket.
It was a cocoon by the time?
Well, it wasn't a cocoon, it was a strange metabolizing pod-like shape hanging by a string in the basket.
same one that you saw.
Yeah, that's the one he took from my window.
Was it alive still?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
He knew how to handle it. He took it off very carefully.
Yes.
It's just stuck to the wood.
All right, so go on. What happened?
And
What was the
then they drank ayahuasca.
What was the hypothesis for this experiment?
The hypothesis was going to be that by saturating the brain and the nervous system and the whole body with psilocybin, which is a member of the indole ring, that doing this, you would, by adding DMT and harmaline and harmine. Now catch those names.
I got
Harmine and harmaline, the active ingredients of ayahuasca. To me, it is very harmonic and a harmonious group of active chemicals for a very harmonic experience. There's too many coincidences going on. And tryptamine is too trippy to be called tryptamine because somebody accidentally called it a funny name, you know. These are the other coincidences that you can associate with this. Anyway, at the time of the, in addition to the psilocybin-soaked system, with ayahuasca and DMT, what would happen would be all the psilocybin would convert with all the tryptophan, which is a natural, help me out, what
Brain chemical?
what's tryptophan?
I think it's an intermediate.
It's an intermediate, but it's also a nutritive element, which is a product of, it's
Let me write
amino
down,
acid.
find out.
Tryptophan.
Tryptophan. I'll find
What
out.
is it? Tryptophan, that's what it is.
So go on.
It would change the tryptophan and the psilocybin into DMT. And at this point, the trained mouth, I guess, or the mouth that knows how to do it, or the mouth that can't help but do it.
Speaks
Makes the
unspeakable.
sound, and the sound comes out in the form of a blue goo, which is actually DMT, and which has the power to fill out ideas and manifest whatever ideas you have. So this is the philosopher's stone. So it's the climax of the story.
Oh,
Something like that.
okay.
That's what he
happened.
called it,
Okay.
but there was only one minor case. The
All right.
next day,
To just deal with energy.
it's March 5th.
So,
Yeah, the next is what
yeah, there's one part in it.
Okay, go on.
It was March 5th, and Terrence is over in my hammock, and he says, get dressed, bring your hammocks. It was a total success. And he's very, very, he's almost, he rose where he, you know, had
Total
totally
success.
succeeded, right? So,
You have to say what happened to him, his changes.
well, he turned blue. He turned really bluish, and his hair turned blonde.
When you reach crystal consciousness.
And what happened?
I don't know, he was just weird. He wasn't the same. His face had just got really gone. And he had always been rather intense, but this was a physical change that startled us a bit. So we got dressed
The next day.
We followed him.
He used to have dark hair and
He
went
used to have
blonde.
dark reddish hair.
Overnight.
Yeah.
He did. Overnight he went blonde.
I'm not sure, you know, it seemed that way. You know, I couldn't swear to it. I would not be surprised now if he did not. I saw him a couple of years later and his hair was back to normal. Maybe it was I hallucinated. I don't know. He looked weird. And I can believe he was. He took that stuff, psychotria stuff. He took all the stuff, man. He took the leaves. He took ayahuasca. And he took the psychotria folia. And he was stoned for at least a week or 10 days on mushrooms. So,
Tell him the theory about the DNA.
okay, this is the crux of the problem, or the crux of the whole secret. This is essential part of the secret, is that harmine is one of the few drugs that does not fit onto the indole ring. All of our favorite drugs are represented. Mescaline, mescaline, and let's see what other ones. LSD, and psilocybin. Terrence Terrence really never did, you know, I never could say like him. He talked about such weird things that, you
Never
know,
check him up,
whatever,
like
check him
simple.
up. And he says that at the time of the injunction of the DMT, at the time that all the psilocybin and the tryptophan, which is in the body, it's a brain nutritive. It's a basic component of nutrition. Tryptophan is in all starchy Fuji, that thing. As that turns into DMT, the harmine molecules fly up and down all your chromosomes.
Oh, yes?
Like butterflies.
Like butterflies, producing perhaps an unimaginable sound.
Wasn't there something about a mutation too? The mutation of the race?
I don't know. I guess you've taken ayahuasca for sure, haven't you? And Bruce has, and I have, and Juan has, and Scott has.
No, I never have.
See, so you can't. We know that there is something flying up and down your chromosomes.
Is that true, Bruce? Yeah?
Of
Yeah,
course.
Brucey is a great
And
shape.
ask him about a strange sound. Did you hear a strange sound? I don't know, probably.
Well, I heard one today. I felt the flutter.
I started talking about this the other night. I don't remember exactly where. And I had
Will, have you taken ayahuasca?
wings at the back of my brain. Just about.
Oh, I felt that my back. I felt like wings were growing.
So what happens to the story?
So, I don't know. Dennis just went mad.
That's what mad.
Yeah, he never slept. He never ate. He says,
Wow, that happened to a friend of mine.
Okay, wait, I want to hear more.
There's something I read last night. And what was that? I gave him beans and rice, and I thought he was going to eat it. And he takes one spoonful and then he sets it down, and then he says, and another thing, if we manage to get out of the galaxy, then, you know, blah. He's talking in a genius form of way. It's like a cross between James Joyce and you know, I don't know. He's drawing these images which are so clever. I couldn't write it down, and I could never reproduce it. I think Sarah, in the subsequent stage of his madness, was able to capture a lot of it. She said her journal was incredible, and she would loan it to me at any time. I haven't contacted her.
That's all right. Where is she?
I don't know.
You
That's
don't
why I haven't gotten it.
Oh, that's right.
I'll find her.
Okay.
At the right time. But, what happened was
Sarah.
he just was still speaking English and stuff when I saw him, and but he was doing things like around the night of the full moon. He went up to the machine and he began ringing the bell.
Oh, right. That's the guy. Oh, him. Is that the one that you told me about that ran around nude in the square?
No,
Oh.
I didn't that. You're talking about the guy that trying to kill the colonel's chicken.
Another ayahuasca?
Good
Yeah, I'm not asking a good time, quote unquote. It wasn't so good after you got on with the car.
That's Thomas.
Was that Tom?
Was that
Thomas
Thomas?
Millinger.
Was that him? What did he do?
But that's people losing their center, man.
Yeah, he
That
lost
ain't
it.
people,
What did he do?
Well, yeah, Dennis didn't do anything really. He did nothing obscene, but he would just go up to these straight nuns and just rave to them like he did to us. And purely in English, and he'd just go on and on and on. And all the nuns were beginning to say, your friend is, no, they wouldn't say it in Spanish, they just threw it out this way. And I said, yeah, he's always extraño, no? And he's a little better today than he was yesterday. And finally, Terrence is just saying, you know, Dennis, get back in your hammock, you have to conserve your energy for the final condensation. We had this, we had this, so intense, you know. After Terrence, I was walking across the field with Terrence and Sarah, and we were walking across the field in this little line, not saying a word, just like little soldiers, you know. The cows are all looking at us, and we get into the thing, we put up our hammocks, and we all get undressed, and he says, okay, we're going to initiate you. And what did was, we didn't actually produce the philosopher's stone, but we produced a mantra.
What?
A mantra.
You did.
No, they did.
They did.
I guess he invented it. It's mantra, which all you had to do was close your eyes and think the mantra. Now, Terence first wrote this mantra out he wrote Sanskrit, you know. So he wrote it out.
Just
mantra,
regularly
and
you
it
wrote
was
Sanskrit?
No, he wrote it out in Sanskrit. He wrote ma, can, na. And he wrote it in Sanskrit.
That's his last name.
That's what happened. You don't have to say the mantra. You can just close your eyes and close your eyes and repeat to yourself, Dennis, what is it? And any question you have, Dennis will give you the answer.
Ah, fantastic.
I know, it was a great idea.
I bet it worked, you just didn't hear me.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Well, tell me where is he?
He's in Colorado. We went back to school to study ethnobotany. He wrote me a letter after this incredible situation, and he wrote me a letter and addressed to Michael Lamski, Lamski, which is a pretty good And he said, gee, I hear it was weird in La Chorrera. I don't remember a thing. I just remember being in Bogota and then coming back to Colorado. Everything's fine. I would appreciate if you'd write and tell me all about it.
Is that right? What's his name?
Terence was right.
Dennis what?
Well, what's his
McKenna, yes, that's the guy? Terence McKenna. Oh, Dennis McKenna. I didn't realize it.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Right.
Well, I don't think he was ever hospitalized. That's one thing with really good.
They didn't have to do that too.
We were pumping Valiums in him after he really got crazy. And we finally went to sleep. Well,
Yeah.
no, Sarah's father was a good doctor. She didn't give him
It's all right. Go on. So what about it?
It was me that pumped up for Valiums, and when I was freaking out on acid. That's another story. What happened?
So you were giving him Valiums, and what happened when you gave him Valiums?
And he disappears again. He has to look all over the place.
He just hit it up.
Yeah, he just climbed out of the window.
That's what Rosie did. I had to chase her in canoes a couple times to save her life.
Yeah, well, see, you were in a much more
Well-
precarious scene living on the island.
People do interesting things.
She was probably just wanting to get off the island.
Yeah, you flipped out there.
Yeah, a lot of people do. The Padre came very shortly thereafter.
I flipped in the regular United States, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But in the jungle,
people
no.
that might stop you from hurting yourself.
Yeah, in the jungle
would
there is
never
a lot
myself.
of danger, like you can't swim, you can't take toilets, all these
Yeah.
things. That's why we were worried when Dennis disappears, and he is really bananas.
Of course,
at
if
the time.
you're
The Padre comes and he says,
Yeah.
listen, your friend is very sick. He has jungle madness. They have a name for it. No, it's not unusual. He said, your friend has jungle madness. It's due to a vitamin B deficiency. He said, there's a plane coming tomorrow. Can you get $300 together to hire it to Lasky? And we'll contract it. The plane was just luckily coming in that day. And the next day, when that came, we said, yeah, we can get the $300 together. And when that happened, I guess Cooney put up half and Sarah put up half.
Where was Sia through all this?
He
He's
let it back.
Right.
He's
He's
smart.
smart.
And,
4th of July, and 4th of March, excuse me. And
March.
after that,
How long of a period of time is this?
it did not take long. Trying to see when we got right in the season. Oh, it took a very short time.
Were you down there about 9 months or so?
No, 9 months. We weren't down there for 9 weeks. It was fast acting. San Rafael, February 15th.
It's my
That was-
birthday. His
that
birthday
was-
too. Your birthday too?
that was when we arrived in Ellen Con, San Rafael,
Right.
March 17th. So it's something happened around March 15th. The first 3 sometimes don't right in the day it happens. That's when we did it. Then we did the week walk. We must have gotten to La Chorera around 20th or something.
Yeah, we went right up to the Indian Territory. We just took ourselves and canoes, buckets.
El Encanto.
I'd like to get back up there again.
Yeah, on February 21st, we were on the trail. See? So, I mean, it was just like 10 days or
Right.
so until the experiment.
One guy asked me to. One guy,
Well, that's a goodly lot of time.
he even
Yeah,
knew
well.
what it was going to be.
Well, no, it isn't really. I don't know.
10 days, intensity, especially on
It
drugs.
was a long time. We were on the boat going down to Putumayo for another 5 days or so. And we stayed in San Rafael a few more days. So we probably started around February 1st. And it took us in
How was the weather?
beautiful. It was summertime. Where's your cook?
Feb 1st from where?
We camped outside the
Down Punta Mayo?
So speculations have intensified as we drive nearer to the abode. This could be it, up to La Chorera, something. The peak of La Chorera at 45 minutes, 45 seconds, 0 degrees, 45 seconds south of the equator. 4 and 5 makes 9, Aquarius.
What's that?
Well, I just added the numbers together. It was 45 degrees south at 4 and 5 makes 9, and then it was 73 degrees east, and that makes 10.
There it is. 9 and 10.
That's Aquarius, huh?
Sounds like it's right. 9, 10 Aquarius.
I don't know. You know, he went crazy, but he came back.
He
He
came
gave
back.
up the English language and just howled for I don't know.
Is that
They
right?
had to keep him in a hotel room and watch him 12 hours.
Who did?
Kumi and Terence and Mike Tazlikas is all called him.
Gee, we're nice friends that keep after him, like, keep
Sure,
it
they had to
together.
watch him. You know. His legs were covered from the bottom up to here with just scabs from scratching fights. Almost one solid thing. When he was wrapped up, he almost looked like a mummy. You know, Sarah was great. We bathed him and put dressings on all his bandages. He had bandages all over the place. Because all he did was just sit there.
How long was it like that?
Scratch. Right after the experiment, it all started getting much, much worse.
How long?
He was,
A couple of weeks?
let me see, when we left. I don't remember when we left.
Oh, well.
That's dangerous if it gets in the blood.
That's where it always goes. It's not, if it gets in the blood, it always goes down.
It's already there.
It's dangerous, you know, and the blood gets to the crap and takes it there.
When it starts getting to your lungs.
Fourth day in La Chorera was,
Fair,
February
glad
25th.
tidings.
So we were there quite a while, actually. We got there February 21st.
February 21st.
Stood there.
That's March 4th.
So,
I saw an 800-page book this guy McKenna wrote. I told you about, called Show Mother.
is this the same person?
Yeah. I saw the book about 2 years after this time.
Oh,
In
yes?
London, the manuscript.
Yes?
It was called Shamanistic Investigations.
Huh.
And I don't know if it's ever been published.
Did you, oh, really? And what'd you think of it?
I just saw it one afternoon.
You didn't read it?
I looked at it.
That'd be speed reading.
Well, I mean- Well, anybody that,
Buried that. It's very complicated. I think he found some cyclical connection to I Ching or something.
oh, sounds neat.
We flew out of there, they flew out of there. Well,
So it's March 21st to March 12th, I mean February 21st to March 12th. Is that
I
right?
think so. My journal just ends.
Okay.
Let me see what
I tried that quite
What is the story about when you go to the bathroom if one would like a candle? Is that the story? Or is there one in there, do you know?
That's why with the
I'll wait.
because they all know why not.
Maybe it's not.
I'm saying maybe there's
There's a
not a
candle
candle.
in that room, I'll take it out.
Margot?
Yeah,
Is she in the room?
It's a drag, and then all you have to do is put
I'll leave it.
Well, so what are we going to reconvene in the jungle? Is that what we're going to do?
No, this guy's just about done. He raised in some language other than
I don't want to go down.
Okay, well, yeah.
other than English. He howled and tried to get out of the plane. He was radiant.
Radiant.
Sarah said he got healthier. I mean, his swords got better, but his mind just ran down. And she said when he came back down a little bit, he began to speak just intensely beautiful things. She said the only thing I could say is he reminded me of Christ. That's what she told me. He said he was pretty horny, and he doesn't remember any of that at all. And he would just burst out of the hotel room with a sheet wrapped around him, and he had lost 40 pounds and he was skinny when I knew him. You know, he was maybe 6'2" tall and maybe weighed 116. He lost
16?
6 foot.
Yeah, 2 and weighed how much?
160. And then he lost 40 pounds and made it down to 20.
Oh my goodness. That's skinny, fellas.
But he was back together. It was weird. Harvey was in, like, Harvey just got to Leticia when they landed. No, the story was really neat, and I did skip a rather important part when we went to see the Indian. I'm sure it is. That's what happened to us.
What's your diet? Is that? Let's see.
Is there a candle? I need a candle to find things in the kitchen.
Good night, everybody.
Are you going to stay on computer?
Right?
No. Are you going to go to the
Right,
Well, I'm going to go. I don't think tomorrow.
Okay, so yes?
Yeah, tomorrow is one.
Bye-bye.
Did we-
Miguelito.
Delightful.
Yeah, see you later. Thank you.
Well, okay, stay up here tomorrow, and then we'll go on weekend.
Are you on though?
I'm going to come down and see you.
Oh, good.
Coming to Keto?
No, I'm not going to go to Kita. I'm going to go to Ipiales for tomorrow, but